Hi, I'm Pastor Rick, and this is Straight Talk on Scripture. Thank you for joining me, and if you enjoy what I'm doing, please take a moment to like and subscribe. Well, what I want to talk about today are angels and demons and protection against demons, that type of thing. Now, we've all heard of the thin blue line, and the thin blue line are the policemen and policewomen of this nation that stand in the gap between us, the regular citizen, and criminals who would look to hurt us. And they stand in that gap and they look to protect us. Well, what about the thin white line? Have you ever heard of that? And I'm going to tell you about it. The thin white line are people like you and me, believers in Jesus Christ who are filled with His Spirit, who stand in the gap and look to protect those who can't protect themselves, either because they don't understand spiritual things, or they haven't met Jesus yet, or they lack the faith. Whatever, we look to defend and protect the helpless. And we don't have to like those people. Our job is to defend those who can't defend themselves. And we are the thin white line. Now let me explain. You see, Jesus in Matthew 5:13 said, we are the salt of the earth. Now let's look at salt. We know that salt gives flavor. We know that it preserves. In fact, for hundreds of years before refrigeration, people have used salt to preserve meats and things like that without refrigeration. So we know that salt does that. But did you know that the ancients also believed that salt would be a protection against evil spirits, against evil? And so let's look at it this way. Now, I'm not saying it did that or not. I'm just saying they believed that. So let's look at it from that perspective, that we are the salt of the earth. We add flavor, we preserve, but we also are called to protect, to stand in the gap between the demonic forces of hell that would look to hurt humanity and those who can't defend themselves. We, the people who believe in Jesus, who are filled with His Spirit, we are called to be that thin white line that protect the helpless. Well, I hope I've given you something to think about. It's like we should always look to protect those who can't protect themselves. As believers, it's part of our call. And it doesn't even matter if we don't like the people. I'm sure policemen and firemen don't like everybody that they go to help. But just something to think about. I'm Pastor Rick. Remember, with Jesus, there's always hope, there's always love. God bless you. I'll see you soon.